Welcome to Latinos Salud's new home.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing.
Latinos Salud was launched 12 years ago to respond to the community's needs in South Florida's Broward County, the greater Fort Lauderdale region. At that time, no agency existed in South Florida to provide HIV prevention, testing, and linkage services specifically by and for the gay Latino community. We opened Latinos Salud with a program for Latino youth called Somos. The staff and clubhouse all fit in a tiny space off an alley on the most popular strip of gay stores, restaurants, and bars in the county. If you've ever dined at the restaurant Ethos here in Wilton Manors, Latinos Salud is where the kitchen for Ethos now stands. Latinos Salud had just 2 staff members back then, though our little clubhouse quickly filled up with gay Latino youth who would come in for the fun and then stick around for the HIV and STD education and counseling. As more and more community members sought services, we began serving all ages and serving the partners and friends of our gay Latino members. The agency grew to 5 staff members by 2010 and had to move to a larger building just a few hundred yards east. This is the building you've all probably walked by or visited on Wilton Drive. Even this new space quickly filled up as we added more services. HIV testing, clear counseling, linkage to care, navigation to support services, Ryan White case management, STD screening with STD treatment, and most recently, PrEP services, including prescription, with gay Latino advanced nurse practitioners in each of our locations 2 afternoons and evenings each week. Adding all these services meant we needed room for more staff and also more private counseling rooms. First, we subdivided our offices. Then we moved some staff desks out into the main room. Still, it got pretty crowded in our Wilton Manors location. As the community's needs grew, we stepped up, adding additional locations in Miami Beach and Miami's Southwest Corridor, Westchester. Our staff developed their skills to the point where national leaders came to Latinos Salud to learn our best practices. As part of our commitment to serve the community's health needs, we were the only nonprofit in South Florida that stayed open through the entire COVID-19 year for all individual level services, including walk-in HIV and STD screening. This video shows how we balance safety and service.
La gente se impactaba al escuchar que Latinos Salud estaba abierto. Latinos Salud siempre estuvo al margen y mantuvo siempre su visión de ayudar siempre a la comunidad, y más aún en tiempos de pandemia y de la gran crisis que estamos viviendo hoy en día.
So we are seeing a new group of people, especially with our new PrEP clinic. There's a lot more interest in the community to access the services.
Tuvimos un cliente que necesitaba su medicamento ya que era reactivo, y gracias a que estuvimos abiertos estos días, él pudo conseguir su medicamento. Así que sí veo necesario que estén abiertas las oficinas para poder seguir ayudando a nuestra comunidad.
Varias personas fueron beneficiadas y pudieron adquirir sus medicamentos para tratar las enfermedades de transmisión sexual y el VIH. Es por eso que me siento feliz de formar parte de esa gran familia de Latinos Salud.
Besides my health, I feel that I'm absolutely grateful for having an opportunity to help others. In this time and age when everything is being shutting down and everything is so uncertain, Knowing that we can make a difference is something to be grateful.
It is easy to lose sight of the things that we have lost during these times, but it's important to still, while practicing social distancing, to go outside, be with your loved ones as long as you're in a safe space. I think that's very important, just to remind yourselves that there are things that are good going on in the world, and just to keep moving forward, because that's all you can do at the end of the day.
And here's just one way we're moving forward. Last month, we began offering free COVID-19 vaccines using the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Latinos Salud doesn't receive any grant support for this service. Our staff added this onto their busy schedules because what matters most is your health. Because we stayed open for the whole community in 2020, both our number of HIV tests provided and the number of HIV diagnoses made rose by 20%. Even before this unprecedented year, our board of directors had already noted that we no longer had sufficient space in our Broward location to serve the community as efficiently and privately as we once had.
And maybe there's a chance for me to go back now that I have some direction, and it sure would be nice to be back home where there's love and affection.
We began a search for a new space, and we'll be starting our move to this beautiful building next week. This will be our home for Broward services, and it's also an experience just visiting this mid-century marvel. Construction on this unique building started back in 1964, and the low-slung design may have reminded some of you of something you've seen elsewhere designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. In some of its features, you might see the influences of American modernism that Wright had introduced at Fallingwater and in his Usonian houses in the late 1930s. Your guess is spot on. This is one of the mid-century modern masterpieces created by Fort Lauderdale architect Dan Duckham. Duckham was a disciple of Frank Lloyd Wright and was Fort Lauderdale's preeminent subtropical modernist architect. When the building was completed in 1965, it became home to Mrs. Robinson's beauty school, and we mean that literally. Mrs. Robinson lived in an apartment up the narrow spiral staircase on the second floor. The next period brought the Boys and Girls Clubs of Broward County to this space. For over 2 decades, local designer Louis Schuster waited for the chance to buy the building, becoming the third occupant in 2006. After that, Moz Construction housed their phone operations here beginning in 2017. They had used every inch of this building for their staff and couldn't take full advantage of the charm and character that lie in these walls. Latinos Salud purchased the building a couple of months ago, and we expect it to serve the community for decades to come. As we prepare the building for the community, we want to draw attention to the features that make this space feel special. From the outside, you can see that Duckham followed Frank Lloyd Wright's style in anchoring the building to the land through use of articulated floor plans, exterior planters, and low walls. Inside, we kept the mid-century built-in furnishings, like the little bench by the front door. We made it more modern and also safer for our clinical services by replacing the carpet throughout all the common areas with this beautiful tile floor you see here. Because getting services for HIV or STDs can be a bit nerve-wracking, we also wanted to give our community members the gift of tranquility. So we ripped out the weeds in the walled-in garden and planted a butterfly garden just off the waiting area with the club chairs in the southeast corner of the building. Right now, all of our plants are little more than bare stalks because we've had hungry caterpillars munching away that will bloom to butterflies in the coming weeks. While we're still getting the final furniture and decorations in, you'll be able to see that this convenient and comfortable space has twice as many counseling and testing rooms, a nurse's room in our on-site wellness clinic mini-suite, a large group room and a separate conference room, larger staff offices and more phone lines, and 4 times as much client parking. In about a month, you'll also see our sign go up on Latinos Salud's new home. With this move, it will be easier for community members to find our building, easier to park, and more comfortable to access services than in any space we've had before. As an agency, we're committed to growing and adapting to help end the epidemic in this, the region with the highest new HIV rates in the nation. Our staff are ready, our facilities are ready, and with your continued support, we will make a major impact. Whether you're a Latinos Salud client, a supporter, or both, thanks for being part of our history of service to the South Florida community.